Hello, Miss B Nation. It is Miss Beltron, and I'm sorry I'm not in class today. I'm in Florida with Miss Perugini, and we are going through IB training. Yay! Anyways, today we're going to be learning about greatest. We're going to learn about GER. No, we're going to be learning about greatest common factor. Before we do anything, the first thing we're going to do, what is it, guys? If you said put your name at the top, that is correct. And please make sure that you're putting your name and not my name. Okay? It's going to take forever. Okay. So now, you guys have probably heard of a factor before. And you've probably heard of GCF, or greatest common factor, as it's known, you know. It's like one of those quintessential things in math that most people know about, you know. To start our process for today, our essential question is, what is the greatest common factor, and how can I factor a polynomial by the GCF? So, the factoring process. Factoring is a process of rewriting a polynomial as a product of two or more polynomials, or, if you want to call them, factors. And you're probably like, Ms. Beltran, those are just words. Yes, they are. But let's look into this, right? So, if a polynomial cannot be factored, then it is called prime. Okay. Now let's look at the example they give us. They give us 12x squared plus 6x equals 2x plus 6x, or 2x parentheses 6x plus 3. So, if we notice, let me get a color out. If we distribute, oh, it's still going to be red, or not red, black. If we distribute here, what is 2x times 6x? It's 12x to the second. What is 2x times 3x, times 3? It's 6x, right? So that just means that this is the prime factorization. 2x times 6x plus 3 is the prime factorization. So, the greatest common factor, or GCF, is the greatest common, let me get my black color back out, the greatest common monomial. And if you guys remember what monomial means, it means term that just has one term in it, right? So, that divides into each term of the polynomial to find the GCF. So in order to find the GCF, look at the coefficients. Let me get a little closer. Coefficients determine the largest number that divides into both terms. Then you're going to look at the variables. A variable must be in every term to be a GCF. If it is present in all terms, the GCF will be the variable with the smallest exponent. And then after you've determined the GCF, you can factor by dividing each term by the GCF. In factored form, the GCF will go into the front of the parentheses, and the remaining factors will be left inside the parentheses. Check your work by distributing. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys are like, Ms. Beltran, what are you even meaning, lady? Okay, let's take a look. Let's look at an example, right? So, we're going to factor 42x and negative 12. Let me go ahead and get a new color out. The way that I like to do this is I like to take the factors of the smallest number, so in this case 12, and I like to write them out. So we're going to start with 1. 1 times 12, or what times 1 is 12? It's 12, right? Then we do 2. What times 2 is 12? We get 6. Then we do 3. What times 3 is 12? 4, right? From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide 42 by each of these numbers. But I'm going to start at the biggest number, because sometimes it works out to like where the biggest number will just be your answer. So let's go ahead and do it. 42 divided by 12, is that an even number? No, we get 3.5, so it can't be 12. Okay, 42 divided by 6. Oh my gosh, guys, it is 6, 7. So 6 times 7 equals 42. I know, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't do this on purpose. I literally swear I did not. So what this means is that we are going to take 6 and we are going to divide 42x by 6 and negative 12 by 6. So first, 42x divided by 6 equals 7. So let's set this up. We'll have 6 here. Then we'll have 7. And we need to put the x. It's 7x because we don't divide that x by anything. Then we're going to do negative 12 divided by 6, which equals negative 2. So we get minus 2. And then in order to check it, let me get a new color. I think I'm going to use a nice blue. In order to check it, we're just going to distribute. So 6 times 7 is 42. We have the x, we're just going to add it at the end. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. Is that the same as what we started with? Yes. So we know that answer is correct. Okay, let's try another problem. I also apologize because it sounds like ASMR. So ASMR dedicated to everyone when I tap on the screen. My bad, guys. Anyways, I'm going to start with the smaller number, 5. So I'm going to say 5. What are the factors of 5? I know 5 is a prime number, so its only factors are 1 and itself. So now, let's go ahead and divide 30 by 1 and by 5. So, can we divide negative 30x by 5? Yeah, it's 6, right? Or 6x. So, I know 5 goes into 5x squared, and 5 also goes into 30. So let's go ahead, and I also know that in our instructions, it said that when we have a variable, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that they're the same variable, and then we're going to take the smallest exponent, okay? So we have 2 x's. Okay, awesome. I know those are both x's, so that works. And then I have an x squared, and then an x to the first power. So I'm going to take x to the first. So my GCF is going to be 5x. Let's go ahead and divide both of these terms by 5x, right? So we have 5x squared divided by 5x. The 5's cancel out, and we're left with 1. And then do you guys remember what we do when we're dividing fractions? If you said subtract exponents, you would be correct. So we have 2 minus 1, so we just get x. Then we're going to do negative 30x divided by 5x. And that equals, okay, negative 30 divided by 5 is negative 6. X divided by x, those cancel out, and we get just negative 6. So I'm going to set it up now. 5x is going to go on the outside of the parentheses. I'm going to write a parentheses, and you can put 1x or x. I'm going to put 1x just so we remember. And then minus 6. Let's go ahead and check our work. Let's get our blue back out. So 5x times 1x is 5x squared. Remember, we add those variables, and they're both 1, so we get 2. 5x times negative 6 is negative 30x. Is that what we started with? It sure is. So that means that that answer is correct. We're going to try one more together. Well, actually, let's do 2 more. We're going to do number 3 and let's do number 9 together as well. So for number 3, let me get my red color back out. For number 3, I'm going to see we have 34 and 85. So these are some big numbers, but I'm going to start with the smallest number and do all of the factors. So 34's factors are 1 and 34, 2 and 17. Okay. It can't be divided by 3. Can we divide 34 by 4? No. What about 34 by 5? No. 34 by 6? No. So these are our only factors for 34. Now, let's see if we can divide 85 by them. So 85 divided by 34 is 2.5, so no. 85 divided by 17 is 5. So we know that 17 is going to be our GCF. Now I have to take into account my variables. I have an x and a y, so that means that there is no like term variable, if that makes sense. So there's no variable that's going to be put into our GCF. So now we're going to go ahead and divide. 34x divided by 17 equals 2x. Awesome. 85y divided by 34, not 34, 17, sorry. 17 equals 5y. Now we're going to set it up. We're going to put 17 up front, and then we'll have 2x plus 5y. We're going to take our blue color. Oh my god, why won't we select? It's okay. 17 times 2x is 34x. 17 times 5y is plus 85y. Oh my gosh, guys. Is that our right answer? Yes, it is. Okay. You're probably like, Miss Beltran, what happens when it gets a little more complicated? Well, let's take a look at number 9 to find out. Okay. So now, I have 3 numbers to consider now. I have 6, 12, and 48. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with 6. Remember, the way that I like to think about this is, I'm thinking about it like, what is like a delicious treat that we be eating? Have you guys ever had a steak before? Or like if you bite a steak and you bite too much, like you can choke, right? This is kind of the same thing. If you worry about the big picture before we even start the small part, you're gonna feel nervous, right? So that's why we start with what we can manage. I know how to factor 6. I know you know how to factor 6, so let's do it. We do 6, so I know 1 times 6 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6 as well. 4 doesn't divide evenly into 6, so we're not going to put that. Now I have to divide 12 and 48 by these numbers to see. So let's start with 6. Maybe it'll be easy for us, right? So I know 6 divided by 6 is 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 48 divided by 6 is 8. So we can use 6. So now let's look at our exponents next. I'm going to write GCF. And we know it's 6. Each term has an x. But the smallest x is x to the first, so we know we're just going to have one x, or a singular x. Then each term has a y, but again, we have a y to the first power, so we know that is going to dictate how many y's we have. So now we have 6xy as our GCF. Let's go ahead and divide each term by 6xy. So 6x to the third, y to the second, over 6xy equals, the 6's cancel out and we're left with a 1. X to the third divided by x to the first. Remember, 3 minus 1 is 2, so we get x to the second. Y to the second divided by y to the first is equal to y to the first. Same thing with 12x to the second y. We get 12x to the second y. Here, for simplicity's sake, I'm actually going to change the color to a different color. Let's do fuchsia or pink or whatever. So we get 12. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Bruh. Sorry, malfunction. Major malfunction, guys. What the heck? 12x to the second y. We know that we're going to divide that by 6xy. 12 divided by 6 is 2. X squared divided by x is x. Y divided by y, they cross out, and we get just 2x. Now, we're going to finish it up. Let's do a nice green color. And we're going to divide negative 48xy. Oh, guys, malfunctions all day. Negative 48xy by 6xy. Okay, negative 48 divided by 6 is negative 8. X cancels out and Y cancels out, so we're just left with negative 8. So our answer becomes 6xy times x squared y, and then I'll go along with the color so we can recall, plus 2x minus 8. Okay, now we can check our work. 6xy times x squared y equals 6x to the third, y to the second. 6xy times 2x is plus 12x squared y. 6xy times negative 8 is minus 48xy. Awesome. Okay. Your guys' job is to finish 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. If you guys don't understand, it's okay. Try your best. The answer key is on the back of the front sheet. So if you have any trouble and you want to check your work, the answer key is on the back with the correct answer. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to be back on Friday and we're going to go over this again. Have a wonderful day, guys. I miss you guys.